From a high-speed hospital hoax that ended in wreckage and a motorcycle outlaw who rode like gravity didn't apply to a street racer who tried to disappear into darkness with nothing but bad instincts and much more, here are the top 10 craziest police chases caught on Dashcam. It was around noon on September 29, 2023, when 911 dispatchers in Arkansas were bombarded with a string of frantic calls. A black Harley-Davidson was flying down I-30 like it had a death wish, braking hard, weaving through traffic, flipping off drivers. One caller even said it looked like the rider was trying to get run over. For Arkansas State Trooper Cullen Young, this wasn't just another reckless driver, it was a rolling disaster waiting to happen.
E2 advised, you go ahead and try to get it stopped if you can.
So go back in, I'll ship down.
Trying to help me out and get him stopped.
Down near exit 213, the chase took a wild left turn, literally. What began as a calculated approach quickly turned into something else entirely. The moment contact was made, gravity stepped aside for just a second, and everything went airborne. The rider, later identified as 41-year-old David Rourke, was pulled from the grass and immediately cuffed. A Smith & Wesson pistol was found tucked in his waistband. At the hospital, Rourke admitted to taking drugs in Arkadelphia, but couldn't say what they were, though the hallucinations about an imaginary Tahoe gave a few clues. Sometimes the high isn't just in the speed, it's in the mind, too. From the moment the radar read 88 mph, the trooper knew this wasn't going to be a friendly roadside chat. On June 3, 2023, while parked on GA 204 near Savannah, he spotted a gray Dodge Challenger tearing through eastbound lanes. The moment he hit the lights, the muscle car took off, like it had something to hide. And whatever that something was, the driver was determined not to let it be found.
They're drinking north on East Broad, coming up today. Alright, going east on Bay, back towards Presidents. All clear.
The pursuit charged into the southbound lanes of Truman Parkway, where things got even trickier. With one hand likely on the wheel and the other reaching for bad ideas, the suspect tried to throw off the trooper not once, but twice testing reflexes with sudden brake checks that could have ended badly for everyone involved.
Don't do it, don't fucking do it. Damn. Alright, looks like he's gonna turn on Pennsylvania. Clear. I'm gonna appear as soon as I can.
But after enough red lights, reckless maneuvers, and close calls, the chase was coming to a head. The trooper made a calculated move to end it, and when the front bumpers met, the Challenger's luck finally ran out.
Pit, Reagan pit. I think we're on to red. Stand by.
The driver, whose name was not released, was taken into custody without further incident. He reeked of marijuana, had bloodshot eyes, admitted to smoking an hour before, and ironically said he fled because he didn't want another ticket. A small amount of weed was found in the car, but the bigger problem was the stack of charges that followed. Turns out trying to outrun consequences usually creates bigger ones.
They're trying to get you six. They said this vehicle was involved in a retail fraud out of Dix and Okemos earlier.
Up on the shoulder, Fowlerville, trying to get back on the expressway.
A polished BMW X5 isn't the kind of car you'd expect to see dodging patrol cruisers at triple-digit speeds. But on April 9th, 2025 in Lansing, Michigan, that's exactly what unfolded with a stolen luxury SUV, 5 teenagers, and one very bad decision. Livingston County deputies first spotted the vehicle around 4:30 p.m. on I-96 near Latson Road. The driver didn't hesitate, he floored it, kicking off a pursuit that only got wilder by the minute.
Going into the city. Left lane, you almost lost it.
Going open the yard, 5043.
I think you just ran the sheriff's car. Yeah, 13's with him. It's like, I'll call it 35. He's going over Spencer. Eastbound.
There, eastbound over Spencer, 13 in there, fair play back calling, 5040 go.
You have three in pursuit now. Going westbound, back on the ticket.
Mid-chase, 2 firearms made a sudden exit from the vehicle, tossed from the window in a desperate attempt to lighten the legal load. One of them tumbled right onto the interstate, forcing officers to shift from pursuit mode to threat containment.
Just threw a gun out.
They're trying to get you six. They said this vehicle was involved in a retail fraud out of Dix and Okemos earlier.
Up on the shoulder, Fowlerville, trying to get back on the expressway. You're back up on the expressway. At 104, back to 104, getting off.
Anything at 104, getting off at 1706. Okay, I'm starting to approach another intersection.
Just got on the car, another car on Jolly.
Jolly. So Joey.
The driver, a 19-year-old man from Lansing, is now facing a laundry list of charges, and he's not alone. 4 other teens inside the vehicle were taken into custody, including a 15-year-old who was already wanted, and an 18-year-old who somehow managed to violate bond conditions mid-chase. No serious injuries were reported, which almost feels like a miracle after what went down. As for the 2 suspects who ran for it at the end, police are still hunting. It wasn't clear at first why Georgia State Patrol's Crime Suppression Unit had such a heavy presence on Washington Road that day, but by 10:35 a.m., things snapped into focus: a stolen Jeep Grand Cherokee, a fugitive with a mile-long record and a warrant detail about to go off script. The driver was 19-year-old Matthew Gaskins, wanted across the metro by just about every badge with a radio. The second they tried to close in, the scene exploded into a full-blown pursuit. The next move brought them all into a tightly packed parking lot where angles narrowed and options vanished. At this point, the troopers weren't guessing anymore, they were positioning for the final move. It didn't take long after the final hit. The suspect's vehicle struck a power pole, knocking it out of commission and knocking Gaskins out of the driver's seat for good. He was arrested without incident, which was more than could be said for the Jeep. Multiple warrants, a wrecked SUV, and a high-stakes game that ended with one very expensive lesson in gravity. It was June 12, 2025, just past midnight in Fayetteville, Arkansas. A trooper on routine patrol spotted a black Cadillac sedan cruising down I-49 with a busted tag light. Harmless enough until the driver made it very clear he wasn't planning to stop. What started as a simple traffic violation quickly escalated into something far more dangerous. That was the moment 31-year-old Michael Dorsey left common sense in the rearview mirror.
TBI, A and B, TBI, A and B.
10-4 vehicle stop.
Nope, he's on the wrong way. Shit. Alright.
What's your play?
He cut across the median and dove into the wrong side of a divided highway, turning headlights into hazards and every oncoming car into a near miss. As our troopers closed in, they hit him with not one, but two tactical maneuvers trying to wrest control back from a situation spinning fast out of control. Still, the Cadillac kept going. That's when they brought out the spike strips, the kind of backup plan that doesn't leave much room for negotiation. Dorsey was eventually taken into custody and claimed his gas pedal was stuck, a creative, if ineffective, defense. The woman riding with him was unharmed, but the Cadillac wasn't his to begin with. Now he's facing several charges, including fleeing and unauthorized use of property. No mechanical failures getting him out of this one.
Like a single occupant black male driver, goatee, do-rag. Cars on Otter Creek.
How many people's lives you put in danger, all you had to do was stop. Those were the words of one Arkansas state trooper on April 27, 2024, after a high-speed pursuit came to a screeching halt. But before those words were said, before the guns were drawn and the cuffs were slapped on a silver Chrysler 300 made a choice. It ignored a cruiser's lights, stayed in the left lane at 87 mph, and kept pushing like the law didn't apply.
If we don't get on 430. I'm right here in front of the outlet on the North Service Road.
Getting on 430 North. Coming up on stagecoach speed 120. Taking stagecoach.
Back on the road, going back west on Highway 5.
Going west on Highway 5 over 430.
Otter Creek stagecoach.
Going into oncoming traffic, staying on Highway 5.
Staying on Highway 5.
Passing Crystal Valley.
Passing Crystal Valley.
Passing baseline.
Passing baseline.
With traffic thickening around Stagecoach Road, the troopers made their move. Timing, precision, and raw nerve collided in one of those rare moments where hesitation wasn't an option. The Chrysler may have had speed, but this was now a matter of skill.
Coming up on Otter Creek Parkway.
Had a chance to end up the pit in.
Now we're like, I'm going to be behind A4. Looks like a single occupant black male driver, goatee, do-rag. North on Otter Creek.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Right now!
The suspect was detained at gunpoint, questioned on the spot, and taken into custody. The vehicle was cleared, no passengers, no surprises. For a pursuit that could have ended in tragedy, the outcome was almost calm. But make no mistake, this driver rolled the dice and the house won.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
It was just before midnight on May 14th, 2022, when the Arkansas interstate turned into something straight out of a Fast and Furious audition. Two Dodge Chargers running completely blacked out sliced through the darkness like predators on the prowl. No headlights, no taillights, just raw speed and the thrill of being untouchable. But what they didn't realize was that one trooper was about to rewrite their ending. Enter Trooper Jacob Bird, who wasn't interested in the sequel.
630 eastbound past the front seater. I'm trying to catch up to him. To your left, walking in. We've already shown us 1037. The Dodge Challenger. I can't get the tax number.
For Challenger and Charger Racing.
Charger and Challenger both blacked out. 630 eastbound still passing. Okay.
Passing MLK, blacked out. 32, I'm behind them. Speed's about 120, light traffic. Speed 120, light traffic.
Still eastbound, just past Chester.
Eastbound past Chester. Eastbound coming up to the river bridge. In the left lane, 97 miles an hour. Left lane, 97 miles an hour. River bridge. Coming up to the river bridge. back left lane, 127, passing Broadway. 127, passing Broadway. Right lane, coming up on Carter Sykes, 127.
I just blacked out. Blacked out. Black.
Sykes.
Taking Curtis Sykes.
Hit.
Hit.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put it in park! Put the car in park! Roll your window down! Roll your window down! Put the car in park! Okay. Turn the car off. Okay.
The driver was pulled from the Charger at gunpoint, taken into custody without further incident. No injuries were reported, but it's safe to say he won't be seeing the highway from behind a wheel anytime soon. Trooper Bird's decisive action turned a reckless joyride into a textbook takedown. High speeds might impress in movies, but on the streets of Arkansas, they come with handcuffs. The streets of Jonesboro were calm that Sunday afternoon, August 28, 2022, until one driver shattered the peace with a few bad choices and one very noticeable white SUV. A state trooper spotted the Nissan Armada barreling down Red Wolf Boulevard and expected the worst. When the vehicle pulled up beside him at a light, the driver was twitching like he'd had 10 cups of coffee and a double shot of trouble. His name was Dale Brookerson, and the way he fidgeted and stared made one thing clear: this wasn't going to be a routine drive.
Okay, okay. We're crossing Moose Lodge. Hey, show me your hand. Roll that window down. Roll the window down. Put your hands out the window. Because I told you to. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Okay, we're back. Back northbound on airport.
Careful.
Oh no.
39 also JPD has been advised.
Temple. Passenger side rear tire is completely gone, driving on the rim.
Show me your hands! I got him pit out. He's refusing to comply. Show me your hands!
Okay, he's able to get away from me. Back northbound on airport. Correction, northbound on airport.
When he refused to stop and chose flight over compliance, the chase that unfolded became a back-and-forth brawl with Arkansas pavement. Officers would try to bring it to a close once, then again, but it was the final move right off a curved road and into a grassy embankment that brought it all crashing down.
It looks like we're turning north on east on Johnson. Come on, pop out, Dex. Here, Dex, here!
Brookerson's SUV didn't survive the second takedown the pit left. It flipped in the grass like a wrecked parade float. He still tried to run, stumbling across the yard as officers and a K-9 unit closed the distance. He was caught cuffed and charged before he could take another step. Whatever he was hiding, it wasn't worth the chaos, but his wild attempt to escape, that'll definitely be remembered. Trooper Blaine Middlecoff had been on shift for just under an hour when he spotted the kind of driver that makes a radar gun earn its paycheck. It was 10:20 in the morning on March 30th, 2022, and a dark-colored car was cutting down I-55 southbound at 90 miles per hour. Middlecoff moved over, watching the driver weave in and out of traffic before tucking himself behind a semi-truck like he had something to hide. Spoiler alert, he absolutely did. Once Middlecoff got behind him and lit up the cruiser, the young man behind the wheel hit the gas and the chase was on. The suspect tried to shake pursuit with a risky detour, diving off the interstate at mile marker 53. He barely kept his tires on the pavement while banking onto Highway 158. Then, just when it looked like he might vanish onto back roads, he floored it toward the on-ramp, straight back into traffic. Once the wheels returned to earth, the suspect knew the game was over. He stepped out with his hands up, choosing surrender over another round of chaos. Inside the car, troopers found a loaded handgun, a bag of marijuana, and a digital scale, the kind that makes charges pile up fast. When asked why he ran, the young man offered a two-part answer. "I was scared," he said, "and running from you was fun." On July 18, 2024, Trooper Amber Cass with Arkansas State Police watched a black Lexus shoot across lanes like it was late for takeoff on I-630. When she pulled the car over, the woman inside had the kind of excuse that sounds just believable enough: rushing her child to the hospital, no license, no registration, and no insurance. Cass ran the name she was given, Becca Smith, but before the system could even process it, the Lexus roared back to life.
Going east on Rodney Parham.
Once the Lexus hit the neighborhood roads, it was clear this wasn't just about running. This was about vanishing. Blowing past stop signs and cutting through red lights, the driver darted between corners like she'd rehearsed the escape route, leaving behind a wake of risk for every unsuspecting commuter in her path.
Did a U-turn, headed back east on Pleasant Valley.
Push the lights off.
Timber, thank you.
What's the traffic? Traffic light.
When the pursuit surged back onto the interstate, the game changed completely. The Lexus went wide open on I-430 South, reaching breakneck speeds that turned every second into a coin flip. But Trooper Cass had been patient, and when the timing felt right, she made her move, forcing a split-second outcome that turned velocity into chaos and brought everything to a brutal stop.
Going south on 430, south on 430. Traffic light, D60. Before you get a chance, we going into the GDI. We're in it.
The driver, who had falsely identified herself as Becca Smith, was later confirmed to be Diviana Bullock. She was ejected from the wrecked Lexus and rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. No child was ever found in the vehicle, just a lie and a long list of charges waiting on the other side of recovery. Trooper Cass may have ended the pursuit, but for Bullock, the consequences are only beginning. But if you thought that Lexus chase was wild, just wait until you see what Mustang drivers have been up to. Click over to the next video to catch the most unhinged Mustang pursuits caught on Dashcam. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more high-speed madness.